A book is a gift you can open again and again. A book is a gift you can open again and again. Good evening, girls. Once again, welcome you all for my English class. Of course, we are going to see reading skills. Today a reader, tomorrow a leader. Today a reader, tomorrow a leader. No entertainment is so cheap as reading. Not any pleasure so lasting. No entertainment is so cheap as reading. Not any pleasure so lasting. A little reading is all the therapy. A little reading is all the therapy a person needs sometime. A little reading is all the therapy a person needs sometimes. Reading means, first of all, reading. Reading is particular interpretation of something. Reading is a particular interpretation of something, conveying of something, sharing of something. A skill which enables us to get a message. A skill which enables us to get a message. Reading is a skill. Through the reading, it enables us to get a message. Recognizing the written words. Finding a written words. Okay. Finding a written symbols. Getting meaning. Getting understanding. Through the message, while we are reading, we will get some messages, some information. Through our understanding, through the meanings. Used to learn pronunciation. Reading skill helps us to learn pronunciation, how to pronounce a particular word. It will make to, while we are practicing reading, we will learn to pronunciation. Grasping information from texts. Finding information from text. If just read some little story also, in that story you will find some information. That is reading means. Now, importance of reading. So, importance of reading. So, first point, important way of getting exposed to English. First thing, important way of getting exposed to English. Explore increasing communicative competence. Exposure increase communicative competence. You become more proficient and you gain confidence. You become more proficient and you can gain confidence. So the first point, while importance of reading in this part, you getting exposed to in English. Okay, whatever it will be getting to express in English. Exposure increase communicative competence. Showing the communicative competence. And then if you have the habit of reading, you become more proficient, more knowledgeable. You gain confidence, you gain assurance. If you have the habit of reading, those things you will get. This is the importance of reading. Next one, ways of becoming an effective reader. Ways of becoming an effective reader. Find some time for reading every day. So if you want to be effective reader, these points will be helpful for you. Find some time for reading every day. So every day you have to allot some time for reading. Initially, read anything that interests you. So in the beginning, in which thing you have the interest to read, okay, in which title, in which book, you just start with that. And the third point, if you read what you don't understand, keep reading to increase some time. Okay, so if you read what you don't understand, which thing is not understand, which part is not understand in that book, you just keep reading to increase it sometimes. Okay, develop reference and note making skills. So while you are practicing reading, same time you have to develop a reference, make a reference and make a notes. It will be kind of it's a skill. Use good dictionary. For you just go with Oxford. My suggestion is always Oxford. Okay, and then note useful words, expressions and sentence structure. So when you are reading, you have to note down those things: useful words, new words, expressions and sentence structures, those things. Okay, how the sentence should, in what form. Okay, and the next point, note down your responses and important points in margin. Okay, so note down while you are reading, at the same time you have to respond with the concept. How means just underline the important points to the margin. The next same ways of becoming an effective reader continuation. Do some extra or a supplementary reading before going to bed. Okay, I too follow this point. Okay, before going to bed, I will used to read one novel chapter wise. Okay, it is a good habit. So I hope you too. I hope you are also follow this point. I will request you to follow this point. Second point, read one English newspaper daily. Okay, read one English paper daily. Next point, read out stories, interesting instance to your family member and friends. Along with them, okay, in your along with your family members or along with your friends, read out the stories, interesting, which is interesting to you, just read out. And loud reading promotes fluency. When you are following this point, really girls, it is very very helpful. You just loud reading promotes fluency. Okay, reading silently, read fast with understanding. This is the another way. Okay, reading silently, read fast with understanding. The next one, reading strategies. So everyone knows that for reading reading strategies, how to read, okay, how to select the book, how to select the topic. For that, here I mentioned some strategies. First point, this one, pick a good reading environment. That means good place. Okay, and this one, check your comprehension, check your reading skill. Okay, check your comprehension, which the question is easy to answerable. Okay, and this one, use a reading strategy. So while you are reading, you have to go with that strategy. Okay, take notes. Next point, this is one, take notes when you read. Whenever you are reading, you just take a notes. This is the main strategy. And the next one, here I mentioned list of reading strategies. Just see. So first of all, project words, repeat and speak, allow a think time, sort words, allowing along, teach phonics, cue the ABCs, use nonsense words, employ the 3-2-1 strategy, inference. Okay, these points I am going to explain little deeply. Okay, you just see in the this part. Okay, so reading strategy, I list out some points here also. First of all, predict. Okay, that means here determine what you think will happen in the text. First of all, you have to determine, understand, describe yourself what you think will happen in the text. Use the title, text and illustration to help you. Okay, just go when you're opening the book, directly don't go start to read. Okay, first you go with the title, use the text and illustrations to help you. This is the predict. First of all, predict means exploring. Okay, and then second one, visualize. So that is a create a mental images of the character, settings and events in the text. So when you are reading, for example, if you are reading a drama part, okay, just you have to imagine. Okay, so for example, you all know that Merchant of Venice. Okay, in the drama, which is a famous scene, means the court scene. Okay, when you are reading that, you have to imagine the character, settings and then events in the text. Third one, question. Stop and ask yourself questions to see if the text makes sense. Reread the text if you need more information. So first of all, you have to stop and ask yourself questions. Okay, yourself you have to ask the questions to see if the text makes a sense. Got it? Sorry. So how it is means while you are reading. So first of all, yourself you have to ask the question based on that text. It giving a sense or not? It's giving a meaning or not? And then reread the text. Read again and again the text. You need more information. Okay, and the next one, connect. Think about what you already know. Okay, first of all, connect means think about what you already know about the text. Find ways to relate the text to yourself, other text and the world around you. First of all, we have to connect. Okay, how we have to connect means if you are reading any book means all the parts are related to our life only. Okay, so you have to just connect those texts, those sentences are whether it is related to our life or around world. So you are just imagine. You have to connect and try to imagine. Find ways to relate the text to yourself. Okay, find way. We have to find the way. Okay, we have to find the way. We have to try to find the word, text and what is surrounding us. We have to try to find and connect it. That is the connect. And next one, identify. Okay, determine the author's purpose. Find the important details, the main idea and the theme of the text. So first of all, we have to identify. We have to describe. We have to find out the author's purpose. Okay, why the author selected this title. So why what is the purpose of writing this book? So those things we have to describe and then find out. It gives the important details and the main idea of the theme of the text also. And the next one, infer. Infer is use a clues in the text and your own knowledge to fill in the gaps and draw a conclusion. So infer means we have to give the own conclusion. How we have to use the clues in the text and your own knowledge to fill in the gaps and draw a conclusion. There is a way is there. Okay, there is a possibility is there. Possibility is there to we can give the our own conclusion. Wherever it is a gap, we have to fill with our own ideas, own points, and then we make it as to be a conclusion. And the next one is last one, evaluate. Okay, think about the text as a whole and form opinions about what you read. First, you have to evaluate. Think about that what you read in the text, a whole, and form opinions about the when with your read. Okay, so this is the list of reading strategies. Sorry girls. So now effective reading. How it is finding effective reading? Whether he or she reading effectively or not, we have to check. So for that, here I mention some points. When studying, especially at higher levels, a great deal of time is spent reading. Okay, when we are studying, especially at higher levels, a great deal of time is spent in reading. So, second point, academic reading should not be seen as a passive. Okay, academic reading, what you are reading in the semester wise for the subject related, sorry girls, is not be seen as a passive active. Okay, activity. It's not as been a passive activity, but an active process that leads to the development of learning. Okay, so passive activity is not considered in the academic reading. Okay, but an active process that leads to a development of learning. When you are when you are using an active process in reading, it leads to develop a learning. Okay, it gives something we will learn from through our reading ability. So next point, reading for learning requires a conscious effort to make links. Okay, for reading for learning requires a conscious effort make a links, understand opinions, research and apply. So first of all, understand the opinions, research it and apply it. What you learn to your studies. These parts are coming under the academic side. Sorry girls. Strategies for effective reading. Okay, so if you want to read effectively, for that also strategy is there. Relate vocabulary to cognates. Relate your vocabulary with the cognates. Connectivity. Okay, so what you when you are reading a new vocabulary, it will give the alternate words also. Okay, you just connect it and make it should be a cognitive there. Use cues from illustrations. Use cues from illustrations. Already I told in the beginning. Use cues. Okay, just it make it as to be developed. Okay. Next one, reread. Read again and again. Excellent strategy for building fluency and reading rate. It is a excellent strategy. Okay, it will build your fluency. It build your fluency and reading rate also. Read aloud. Read aloud. Read aloud. Okay, practice comprehension skills through listening to oral reading. Okay, so practice a comprehension skills through listening to oral reading. So such a how it is means you just see listen some audios or videos. It will be able to answerable means you are in good in the reading. Okay, read aloud or practice comprehension skills through listening to oral reading. Okay, And the last one, keep reading logs. Logs means your journals, diaries. So it will make you, if you go with continuously through this way, means if you follow these strategies in your reading practice, your reading will be effective, more effective. Next one, techniques for effective reading. Reading skills are essential on any job. In fact, they are usually needed to get a job in the first place. Okay, so techniques for effective reading. Reading skills are essential on any job. It is very important skill in any job. In fact, they are usually needed to get a job in the first place. If you have the technique for effective if you have the effective reading skill, means it is usually needed to get a job in the first place. First point here, know your purpose of your reading. First of all, what purpose you are reading, just you have to find. It is helpful when reading to look for a plan. Okay, it is helpful when reading a look for a plan. Search for an interest and evaluate the message. So first of all, you have to make a plan and then search for an interest. In which journal you have the interest, and evaluate the message. Read for meaning, read for understanding. Okay, focus your mind, summarize as you read, make a connection, form a mental pictures, be aware of jargon. So, read for understanding. Okay, focus your mind while you are reading. Be concentrate. Summarize as you read. What you read, you just summarize yourself. Make it short and make it a connection with the other. Okay, and then form a mental picture. If you read a story, you just imagine and make it as a picture. And then be aware of a jargon. That means careful of other things, other words. Next one, types of reading. Several types of reading may occur in the language classroom. Okay, if you take a language specially, or a Tamil, English, Urdu, Hindi, whatever the language. Okay, there are many. Okay, several types. Here I mentioned little. First one is oral, this one, and then silence, skimming, scanning, linguistic, content, intensive, extensive. So, oral reading, silent reading, skimming, scanning, linguistic, content, intensive, extensive. So, now we see one by one. First of all, actually, the types of reading is 4. Okay, the types of reading is 4. That is skimming, scanning, intensive, extensive. So those things only we are going to see in deeply. Okay. So first of all, scanning. A quick reading focusing on locating specific information. First point, scanning is a quick reading, focusing only a important point, important information. Second point, scanning involves quick eye movements, not necessarily a linear in fashion. Okay, the scanning involves quick eye movement. Okay, for example, if you are getting any token, first we have to just see have the quickly what is the token number. That is called scanning. Okay, scanning involves a quick eye movements, not necessarily linear fashion, in which the eyes wander until the reader finds the piece of information needed. So, particular main information. So, what we need at the time. So, when we are finding the main thing, that is called scanning. Scanning is used when a specific piece of information is required, such as name, date, symbol, formula, or a phrase. So, this is the scanning part. Okay. So, scanning is used when a need a specific piece of information is required. Okay. What is the important information we require? We used to find that only. Example, when we need some name means we only find out the name. When you need a date means we have to only find the date. So this is the first type of scanning reading. A scanning. Okay. A scanning, a quick reading focusing on a locating specific required. Same thing I used. So next one, skimming. Skimming is used to build a student confidence. Okay. Skimming is used to build a student's confidence and an understanding that is possible to gain a meaning without reading every word in a text. Skimming is used to build a student confidence. Skimming reading is, it's developed to build a confidence and an understanding that is possible to gain a meaning without reading every word in a text. Okay. So, second point, skimming is used as a part of the SQ3R method. Skimming is used as a part of the SQ3R method of reading. Often for a speed reading, this method involves the students in surveying a question. Okay, surveying a question, reading, reviewing and reciting. So that is a SQ3R. Surveying, questioning, reading, reviewing and reciting. So these things are very important in the skimming. Okay. First of all, skimming is used to build a student's confidence, not only students, for all, and make it an understanding that it is possible gain of meaning without reading all the text. Okay, if you read a point, if you make a point, it is a more effective, more informative, it will be understandable. Okay, for that we have to follow the SQ3R method, that is surveying, questioning, reading, reviewing and reciting. Skimming is used to review a topic. Particularly, the skimming is used to review a topic. Just we have to review a topic. For that purpose, we have to use this type of reading. That is a skimming. Next one, intensive reading. Intensive reading calls attention to grammatical forms. Intensive reading calls attention to grammatical forms. Discourses, markers and other surface structure details for the purpose of understanding. Okay. Literal meaning, implications, rhetorical relationships and the like. He draws an analogy to intensive reading as a zoom lens strategy. So, intensive reading calls the attention, grammatical form. Okay, it will discourse discourse markers. Okay, and make it a surface, make a structure of a surface of the structure detail for the purpose of understanding. Everything in the literal meaning, exact meaning. It implicated in a rhetorical relationship. It implicated in a rhetorical, rhyming relationships. And then like, he draws an analogy to intensive reading. It gives it shows the intensive. Okay, what intent to read. So, intensive reading has a zoom lens for strategy. intensive reading activity. Okay, activities. Identify main ideas and details. First of all, you have to identify the main ideas and make it a detail. Making inference. Making inferences. Looking at the order of information and how it affects the message. Looking at the order of information and how it affects the message. So if you are reading about a poet or a writer, you have the order of the information, how it was affect. For example, if you are getting information about a famous personality, okay, straightly you not go with their family members' names, how many kids, not. If start with their name, date of birth, place, those things gives the effect to the message. Identifying the words that connect one idea to another. If you are finding a new words, it will be connect one idea to another. Identifying words that indicates change one section to another. Identifying words that indicates change from one section to another. If you find the word means, it will be indicate change from one section to another. If you find a new vocabulary, the vocabulary is a meaning is so much. Okay, depends upon the situation, the meaning is differ. So like that, if you are identifying a word that indicates a change from one section to another. Extensive reading. Okay, next type is extensive. Extensive reading is carried out to achieve a general understanding of a text. So extensive reading is carried out to achieve a general understanding of a text. Generally, commonly to understand the text, it carried out extensive reading. Extensive reading as occurring when students read a large amount of high interest material, usually out of a class, concentrating on meaning, reading for gist, and skipping unknown words. The aims of extensive reading are to build reader confidence and enjoyment. So, extensive reading is carried out to achieve a general understanding of a text. Extensive reading has occurring when students read a large amount of high interest material, usually out of class, out of the subject, concentrating on meaning. Okay, reading for gist, that means gist here, gist means general. Okay, reading for general, and skipping unknown words. If they are for general information, for a general purpose, they are reading a book. Okay, they will automatically skip the unknown words. What they need for generally, what they know, they will just go with that. That is the extensive reading. The aims of extensive reading are to build a reader's confidence and enjoyment. Okay, the aim of extensive reading are to build a reader confidence and enjoyment. Extensive reading characteristics. The purpose of reading are usually related to pleasure, information and general understanding. So actually the main purpose of reading is in extensive reading is usually related to for their happiness, information and general understanding. Reading has its own reward. Reading it has its own reward. Reading materials are well within in the linguistic competence of the students in terms of vocabulary and grammar. If you going with the reading material are well within in the linguistic competence. If you are practicing whether in the according to the linguistic competence, the students in terms of vocabulary and grammar, they will well known in familiar with those words. Reading is individual and silent. Reading is individual and silent. Reading speed is usually faster than a slower. So reading speed is usually faster than a slower. The teachers orient students. The teachers orients. That means the teachers speak with the students to the goal of their program. That is the main goal of the program. The teacher is a role model of The teacher is a role model of a reader for the students. So these are the characteristics of a extensive reading. So next one, strategies and process of effective reader. Strategies and process of effective readers. So here I divided a 3 column. One is a pre-reading, during a reading, after reading. In the pre-reading, set a purpose of reading. First of all, we have to set a purpose, a reason for what we are reading. Second point, set a goals for reading. So what purpose you are reading, we have to set a goal. And the next one is determine a plan for reading. Describe a plan for reading. How we have to read, when we have to read, in from where we have to read. And next point, activate a background knowledge. So we have to, apart from the text, we have to activate in the background knowledge. Make a predictions. That is, make a explain, make to explain, make to explore our knowledge. And the next one, during reading, ask questions, summarize, identify your main ideas, make connections, make inference, visualize, use fix-up strategies, understand new vocabulary, create interpretation. During a reading, we have to ask ourselves a question. We have to summarize, we have to clear, we have to overall with that our subject knowledge. Identify the main ideas. So first of all, we have to find the main ideas, main theme of the text, and then make a connection, make with the connection, and make a inference. Already in the beginning I told that make a inference with that. Make a connection to one another to another word, and make it as to be a visualize and use a fixed step strategies. So for that we have to fix some strategies to following the strategies. It will be able to make a reading more effective. Understand the new vocabulary. So when during the reading time, you will find the new words, and then you will discover the new words, new ideas also, and create a interpretation also. Create a information, share the ideas and whatever just pointed out and follow it. And the last one, after reading, reflect on what you have read. So you just reflect, review, refill it, reflect it, reveal it what you have read, and go with that revise. Okay, and then once again you have to go with the revise, and the next one go with the revise with the interpretation, summarize the main ideas, and then draw a conclusion, seek additional information. So these points are that after reading we have to follow that. The next one, tips to cultivate a lifetime reading habit. So if you want to continue the reading habit, means you have to set a time. Set a times, always carry a book and make a list, find a quiet place and reduce the television or internet, keep a long. So first of all, we have to cultivate our lifetime reading habit. If you want develop our reading habit, we have to go set the times. Okay, after always you carry a book with you and make a list. So what we have to read in, make a list, and find a quiet place, find a silent place for reading. Reduce watching television or using internet. Keep a log. That means log means already I told you that is a magazine or a journal. Go to use bookshops. Have a library day. Read fun and compelling a book. Make it pleasurable, set a high goal, have a reading hour or a reading day. So get use a bookshop, often used to visit a library a day, and read fun, for a fun purpose you read, and compelling books. Make it pleasurable and make it a happiness, and set a high goal, have a reading hour or a reading a day. And barriers to effective reading. So the next one, barriers to effective reading. So what are the drawback of effective reading? lack of grammatical and linguistic competence, lack of motivation, lack of concentration, a proper light and ventilation, size of the book, articulating the words and sentence loudly, putting a finger, pen, or any object on the words and sentence while reading, narrow high span. So, barriers to effective reading. What are the fence to effective reading, block to effective reading? Those things will be spoil the effective reading. That is a lack of grammatical and linguistic competence. While you are reading, if you have you are making a grammatical or a linguistic language problem. Okay, lack of motivation. So, if you are less in a motivating interest, lack of concentration, a proper light and ventilation, size of the book, articulating the words and sentence loudly, putting a finger, a pen, or any object on the words while you are reading, and sentence while reading, narrow eye span. These things will be spoil the effective reading. So next one, once you learn to read, you will be forever free. Once you learn to read, you will be forever for free. Thank you, girls. Thank you. I hope you will understand this reading skill, and then you will just follow these tips and points, strategies. Your reading skill will be more effective. Thank you.